And we have 3 different sports media figures that have released their All-Star ballots, and Angel Reese is nowhere to be seen. She's not involved.
The results are in, and they're tough to ignore. Angel Reese, once hailed by Forbes as the future of the league and widely promoted by the media as its next big star, wasn't just left out of the All-Star game, she was completely overlooked. Not only did she fall short of the top picks, she didn't even make the top 10, landing all the way down in 13th place. It raises a big question. How does someone with so much buzz, visibility, and marketing behind her get passed over by fans, media, and even fellow players? The answer points to a surprising gap between public image and actual impact, and it's a story the hype machine clearly didn't want anyone to see.
And Angel Reese being the face of the WNBA, you would think Angel Reese is leading the league in votes. Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10.
To really grasp how far Angel Reese has fallen, you first need to understand how high she was expected to rise. Her path to stardom didn't begin in the WNBA, it started during her unforgettable run to an NCAA championship. Her bold confidence, especially the famous "You Can't See Me" gesture aimed at Caitlin Clark, turned her into a viral sensation. That moment wasn't just about basketball, it marked the beginning of a global brand. Almost overnight, Reese became more than just an athlete. She became a cultural figure. She landed a major multi-year deal with Reebok, taking on a role once held by basketball icon Allen Iverson. From there, the endorsements kept rolling in, Beats by Dre, PlayStation, big-name fashion brands, all eager to be part of her rising star.
And we saw from the popularity voting, remember, it wasn't just Caitlin Clark, it was me too. Angel was 13th in the All-Star voting. Well, everything I've been told, she should have been at least second.
Her social media numbers skyrocketed into the millions, far surpassing many seasoned WNBA players. Bayou Barbie wasn't just a nickname, it was the brand behind a growing business empire. The media helped fuel the story, framing her and Caitlin Clark as the 2 rising forces set to reshape the future of women's basketball. The WNBA embraced it too, spotlighting Reese in major promos and pushing her front and center. The bar was set high, not just to make the All-Star team, but to become one of the league's most important and visible stars. Falling short didn't seem like an option.
11.3 points and 11.9 boards and a 38.5% shooter at 6'3".
When the All-Star fan votes were finally released, the results weren't just disappointing, they were a reality check for the media's storyline. Angel Reese came in 13th place, with just over 173,000 votes. To put that in context, Caitlin Clark, the other half of what was supposed to be the league's new superstar duo, pulled in more than 700,000 votes. That's over 4 times Reese's total. Reigning MVP Aya Wilson was right behind Clark, with nearly as many votes, but the sting went deeper. Reese wasn't just behind the league's biggest names, she was also outvoted by 12 other players, including her own Chicago Sky teammate Marina Mabrey, and others like Aaliyah Boston and Alyssa Thomas, who, despite being great players, don't get nearly the same media spotlight Reese does.
So, it's been very up and down. All of her numbers, she's over 2 points a game behind last year, and basically a little over a rebound a game down, and that's supposed to be her strong suit.
This wasn't a close call, it was a complete blowout. Angel Reese wasn't edged out by a veteran with more experience, she was overwhelmingly passed over by the very fans who were expected to rally behind her. The hype around her was loud and constant. But when it came time to vote, the response was almost silent. As people began to process the surprising gap between her popularity and her performance in the polls, the reasons behind the drop-off started to come into focus, one eye-opening stat at a time.
Not only was she not second, she was basically 3 times the amount of votes behind Caitlin Clark.
Behind the flashy magazine spreads and viral TikToks, a different story was playing out. One grounded in hard numbers and on-court performance. Fans who looked beyond the headline saw something that stood out in all the wrong ways. Angel Reese was shooting under 40% from the field, a troubling stat for a 6'3" forward who does most of her work near the basket. In the WNBA, top forwards typically shoot closer to 50%. For a player in Reese's position, that kind of inefficiency doesn't just hurt her stats, it means missed opportunities and wasted possessions for her team. And in a league built on performance, that's a serious red flag.
The same Angel Reese who has been begging, and I mean begging, people on social media to vote for her? Angel Reese, number 13 on the list, 173,000 votes.
On top of that, her turnover rate was one of the highest among starting forwards in the league, often canceling out the positive impact of her strong rebounding numbers. In a league stacked with ultra-efficient players like Alyssa Thomas and Brianna Stewart, Reese's overall production just didn't measure up. Her stats didn't just fall short of all-star expectations, they worked against her. The numbers painted a picture that even the best marketing couldn't cover up. Her on-court performance wasn't just out of sync with the superstar image, it was in direct conflict with it.
A potential reserve, who would it be? Gabby Williams and Brittany Sykes. So Angel Reese couldn't even squeeze into a reserve spot. And now Megan Hall of USA Today, she left Angel Reese off her all-star ballot.
But then the story took an even more dramatic turn. You might expect the media, the very ones who helped build her fame, to step in and defend her. Instead, they dealt the harshest blow of all. When official all-star ballots from prominent sports writers were made public, a surprising pattern appeared. Megan L. Hall of USA Today, a publication that had praised Reese's impact in glowing articles, left her off her ballot entirely. Writers at Sports Illustrated, who had just featured her in their high-profile swimsuit issue, did the same. The silence from her biggest media supporters was louder than any criticism.
And the front court players, Boston, Nafisi Collier, Nika, Satu Sabali, Brianna Stewart, and Asia Wilson. All right. And down here, Boston, Jonquel Jones, Alyssa Thomas. No Angel Reese, folks.
The very people who helped build the legend of Angel Reese, the insiders, the experts, the media gatekeepers, were now the ones quietly tearing it down. Their ballots spoke volumes. Without saying a word, they admitted that the story they once sold to the world was no longer one they believed. It was a silent but total betrayal, and it confirmed that doubts about Reese weren't just coming from fans. They had taken root inside the media machine itself. At this point, it became clear Reese likely wouldn't be named an all-star starter. And, truthfully, based on her performance, she probably hasn't earned a starting spot in regular season games either. As the voting period wound down and the outcome became obvious, Reese turned to social media. She urged her millions of followers to vote for her, a common move in today's world of athlete-driven branding, but
this probably means she will not be a starter in the All-Star game, which would make sense because Angel Reese shouldn't be a starter for a regular season game.
Her social media campaign ended up revealing a key weakness at the heart of her popularity. While her huge online following looked impressive, it turned out to be wide but very shallow. These fans weren't deeply committed WNBA supporters ready to vote. They were mostly casual followers who enjoyed the drama but didn't truly follow the game. What was meant to boost her chances only made it clear how fragile her fame really was.
Beckers is number 6, which I thought was rather surprising. 3 months ago, Paige Beckers was the only star in women's basketball not named Caitlin Clark. She entered the WNBA dump with a massive amount of mainstream notoriety. But as soon as she put on the hard hat, as soon as she was sized for the steel-toed boots, the second she took off the Yukon jersey and exchanged it for the Dallas Wankers, Paige Beckers seems to have disappeared.
Alongside her huge social media following, missed shots, and a noticeable drop in athleticism, there was one verdict that spoke the loudest: silence. The All-Star voting isn't just about fans and media. A key 25% of the vote comes from the players themselves, the women who share the court with Reese, battle her in the post, and notice things that cameras and analysts often miss. While individual player votes stay private, the final results made one thing clear: just like the media, the players didn't vote her in. Now we understand why the media went to such lengths to keep the story quiet.
The mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star. Some in the media even do investigative journalism and claim that Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA because she leads the league in followers on social media, along with missed layups and a complete lack of athleticism.
All this quiet judgment from her fellow players reveals something deeper about the WNBA. Respect here isn't handed out, it's earned. It comes from showing consistency, efficiency, and professionalism, not from Instagram followers or big endorsement deals. Her on-court behavior and heated moments, which some fans saw as passion, were clearly seen in a different light inside the locker rooms. Her peers have spoken, and their verdict was just as clear and firm as the fans. Still don't get it?
Now, we know the media jumped through hoops, gymnastics, mental gymnastics. I mean, however you try to put it, they tried to raise up Angel Reese last year as being, of course, she's running neck and neck with Caitlin Clark for the Rookie of the Year. Except that wasn't accurate at all.
Angel Reese built her brand as the villain of women's basketball. She owned the role of the aggressive player, the trash talker, the unapologetic heel. This attitude grabbed headlines and sparked non-stop debates on social media, making her someone everyone wanted to watch. But what works for reality TV doesn't always earn respect on the court. Her actions often cross the line from fierce competition to controversy, and now, people are starting to see it clearly. People are catching on.
Still don't understand how she could be that tall and shoot that terrible from the field. I really don't understand.
Her flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark, the physical clash with Alyssa Thomas, and leading the league in technical fouls all helped shape her tough reputation. While this drama grabbed the attention of casual fans, it probably pushed away the devoted supporters, media voters, and most importantly, her fellow players. The very edge that made her famous turned into a double-edged sword. It showed that while controversy can build a brand, it can't win over a group of voters.
People are catching on, folks. People are catching on. Her fans can't defend the play anymore. And I guess members of the media are starting to give up.
The All-Star snub wasn't just about Angel Reese, it was a statement about what the WNBA and its fans truly value today. The difference between her and Caitlin Clark's journeys is striking. Clark faced even more pressure and scrutiny, but she didn't rely on a persona. Instead, she let her performance speak for itself. Even with her team facing challenges, Clark put up historic numbers in points and assists, breaking records almost every week.
It was our understanding, from what we understood, she was going to be among the players, right? That's what the media has been trying to tell us, except the media is finally telling you, this is 3 members of the media, 2 from SI, 1 from USA Today, and they are saying she is not among the starters, in their opinion, in the WNBA All-Star game. They're not on these ballots.
People have noticed, there's no question about it. Caitlin Clark's performance was so strong, it shut down any debate about her All-Star status. The league sent a clear and powerful message. In this new, high-stakes era of women's basketball, hype might get you noticed, but only top-level play earns you a spot. This isn't just about Reese and Clark. Other highly promoted rookies, like Paige Buchers, also didn't make the top tier of voting, proving this is a league-wide shift. The days of coasting on reputation alone are over.
I mean, we got to remember, they may put Angel Reese on their backs and try to carry her across the finish line, for crying out loud. But my goodness, what a difference. What a difference in the media from this time last year. People are finally catching on. Basketball fans, actual basketball fans that know anything about basketball, they've caught on. There's no doubt about it.
In the end, Angel Reese's All-Star snub wasn't about one mistake. It was the result of a perfect storm, a media-fueled story crashing headfirst into the hard truth of the game. The hype promised a queen, but the numbers showed a rookie still figuring things out. The media that built her up were also the first to turn away. And the villain image that made her famous only added to her downfall. Now, Angel Reese faces a huge moment. Is this public rejection the fire that will push her to sharpen her skills, prove the doubters wrong, and become the superstar she was meant to be? Or is it a crack in the foundation, showing that the Bayou Barbie brand was all flash and no substance, a fame that finally outran her on-court performance? The answer won't just shape her career. It could change what it means to be a star in today's game.
Actual basketball fans that know anything about basketball, they've caught on. There's no doubt about it.